It is officially 2024, which is mind-blowing. And if how quickly the last few weeks of the holidays have gone, if that's any indication, 2024 is going to blow by. In today's video, we're going to talk about 3 different things that you can implement in your year in order to help you slow things down a little bit and make sure that you get the most out of the next year. My name is Patrick Menefee. I'm here to help you level up your money, your mindset, and your mission in order to help you become the best possible version of yourself. Now, these videos drop every single Monday, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. You can also go down to the link in the description and sign up. I have a free newsletter that comes out every other week. It's called the Menefee Monday Motivator. Now, the first thing that you can do is continually check in on your goals. Now, if you're a high achiever, as I imagine you are because you're watching this, we go into the year with ambitious goals and aspirations. And as the year goes on, we get closer to those, or we get sucked down rabbit holes, or something else happens and we realize that we need to pivot. A lot of things change. And as a lot of time goes on, we continually need to double check that the path that we're on is the right path. For the past couple of years for me, things have continually developed and changed, and my targets have either gotten bigger or I've realized that I need to shift and I need to go in a different direction. But if you continually keep working towards a target that you set one time and don't check back in on it, you can be way off course. My encouragement is, at a minimum, do this on a monthly basis and have a check-in to say, where am I right now? What was my target at the end of the year? And where do I need to make any adjustments? And what do I need to do for the next month? But even better is you start doing them quarterly. You do reviews on a quarterly basis. You then implement those reviews into planning that creates monthly targets, which creates weekly targets, which creates daily targets. All of that planning can be very, very helpful. But at the end of the day, checking in on the targets that you set and making sure that you're going in the right direction will set you up for success and make sure that you don't get into August and September realizing that you're nowhere close to where you wanted to be. The second thing that you can do that I strongly recommend is to invest in yourself. Now, investing in yourself a lot of times sounds financial, and a lot of times it is. Investing in a coach, investing in events, investing in masterminds, these have all catapulted me to entirely different heights as opposed to a couple of years ago when I was trying to do everything on my own and I wasn't investing in myself. It can start with reading books. It can start with something as small as joining a small event, going to networking events. If you're in Charlotte, come to a Charlotte Entrepreneurs event, come join us. But get around other people that are gonna help you level up so that you're not relying just on yourself, especially if you're in communities where you don't have other entrepreneurs, you don't have other like-minded people around you. Invest in your community and invest in the people around you so that you can get other people that are going in the same direction as you, because it's a game changer. Another part of investing in yourself is taking time to yourself. When I did my end of year reflection, I looked back at the past year and I looked back at all of every single week of the calendar. And when I did that reflection, one of the things that I found was between events in my mastermind group, between retreats with my coach, and solo trips that I went on my own for some planning, plus one trip with a couple of buddies as a mastermind trip, between all of those events, I went on 7 different trips over the course of 27 days. I spent a lot of time diving into myself and investing into myself. All of those were huge moments of reflection, of growth, of change for me. That was an investment in me that I desperately needed. And I encourage you to do the same. It may not look the same, it may not be on the same scale, but do something, whether it's hire a coach, whether it's talking to a coach, whether it's going to an event, leveling up your community, or just spending time with you. Do something to level yourself up, because it'll create an entirely different path through this year and you'll grow way more. The third thing I'd encourage you to do to slow 2024 down is to eliminate distractions. Now, distractions take a lot of different shapes and forms. And the benefit of implementing a couple of things that I talked about before between the check-ins and leveling yourself up is they help you identify distractions even more. And they level up what are the important distractions that you need to get rid of. But this may be being more diligent with your time. It might be time blocking. It might be people that are taking up way more of your time than they should and aren't actually adding value, or activities that you're doing that are bringing you down and the repercussions last for 2 or 3 days. But what's interesting as you continue to level up, and what I found for me personally, is the distractions last year that I cut out as I was leveling up and as I got more clear on the path that I needed to go down in this coaching space and Charlotte Entrepreneurs. The things that I needed to get rid of were much larger. I needed to get rid of my real estate. It wasn't the right thing for me. I needed to pivot and shift and take all of the equity that I had and put that into something else that was gonna not require my time and attention and that was going to also produce a return. I also got rid of my lawn care company. That was a huge distraction for me. It was taking away time and energy. And again, I'll talk about this in another video. I'll share some of the lessons that I learned from this business acquisition and sale. But the time and energy that I was putting into it was pulling me away from where my focus needed to be. My focus needed to be on building Charlotte entrepreneurs. It needed to be on building my own personal brand, on becoming a professional and an expert as a coach and as a leader. And it was hard to do those things while I was dealing with phone calls from property management, or dealing with Airbnb guests, or dealing with customer issues with lawn care, or trying to propel those things forward and keep them all afloat. So what are the distractions that you can cut this year? And just like number one, where you're continually reflecting on your growth, continually reflect on what your distractions are. Continually assess your time throughout the year. Your distractions right now may be something small. Later on throughout the year, it may be something big. Keep an eye on it. Get rid of the things that don't matter. Get really clear on where you're going so that you understand the things that are all the outliers, all of the noise that you can get rid of. I hope this is helpful to you, and I hope that you start the year off strong. I hope that it's not just a phase that starts for the first couple of weeks of a New Year's resolution that then fizzles out after a couple of days or a couple of weeks. I hope that you will put in the work to do the consistent steps that it takes to maintain this momentum, to slow things down a little bit so that you are diligent with every minute, every day of your time. And you don't look back 6 months down the line and you're like, well, shit, I didn't get anywhere close to where I thought I was going to be. So encouragement to you, implement these 3 steps in some way, shape, or form. Stay tuned for the next ones, subscribe, and I will see you next week.